Hello there, folks. This quick video today is going to talk about a method as a little cheater idea to get rid of the flicker that you might have on display pages when certain tags aren't being pulled correctly or so forth. This application, what I'm doing here is on the left side, I'm pulling a bunch of tags from a PLC, and these are all mapped right to the registers in that PLC. And as you see here, they kind of flicker intermittently. Either there's a communication problem, network traffic, it could be even sometimes a tag that's mapped wrong, like this one down here is maybe not mapped right, it never updates. That could be the problem. So anyway, you have a situation like this. In some of the databases I've seen, there's thousands of tags, and it's kind of hard to find which one might be mapped wrong. So what I'm doing here in this application is I'm taking these real tags and I'm mapping them over here into internal tags. And as you see, the display on internal tags, there's no flicker at all. They're constant values and everything looks great. If, for instance, one of the values over here in the PLC change, you'll see them change over here. So if I go to my PLC I'm simulating right here, let's say I change the 110 in this guy. This is from the PLC right here. So if I click on the 110 and put in like 200 here, for instance, you'll see that the number over here changes. And if I change the 3 to say, I don't know if I click on it here, should let me click. Yeah, there we go. Put in some number, whatever, 568 or something. So you can see it shows, but there's no flicker, which is great. And what I'm doing in this application is here's the Crimson database, as you saw there in the web browser. And here's the same screen. If I go over to the left, communications, I've got your typical, some driver to a PLC. It could be Allen Bradley, it could be BACnet, it could be Modbus TCP, it doesn't really matter. But if I go down here to data tags, and you can see I've got two categories of tags here. I've got the map tags, and all of these tags are red because they're actually mapped to a register inside those devices. Those are those tags right there. And if I expand the internal tags, these guys are all blue because these are not mapped. They're internal to the HMI. And what I'm doing here is over in the left, I've got a program written, got a simple program written here, team. And all this program does is two things. It takes, I've got some equal signs here. I've taken the internal tags here, and they're mapped to the real tags. So this program right in here, anytime the real tags change here, because of the equal sign, it's going to copy that data over to this side. But this section here, team, only runs when a variable changed equals 0 runs. I'll explain how this works here in a second. But as long as this thing called changed equals 0, this section runs. Okay? Oh boy. And then let me pause this phone here. It's probably a telemarketer. Anyway, so, and then down below here, I got another section that says, hey, if changed equals 1, then I do the opposite. I take the internal tags from here on this side and copy them to the real tags. See the difference? I need you to look here. See the difference up here? This side has internal on the left, map tags on the right side, and down here I have the map tags on the left and the internal tags on the right side. The equal sign is always written from the right side to the left, team, in the logic. So let me go back to the display page here. Everything is looking great throughout as long as I'm reading the tags. But what happens if I change one of these values? That's where the caveat comes in. So I'm going to show you what I did here in my little cheat. All of these fields are set up as data entry. You can always tell that because they have a inverted color on this. And these here are acting as read-only here. So if I double click on one of these, I just want to show you the properties. And you'll see here it's mapped to an internal tag, no big deal. But team, if I go to the entry tab, right here, down here you see where it says on entry complete. Whenever I put in a value, it doesn't matter which one, any of them, I change a tag, a flag tag called changed, I just made that up, to equal 1. Notice 1 equal sign assigns a value, so I'll click OK. And I did that for all of these. If I go through any of these data entry fields, you'll see every one of them, team. Doesn't matter which one, all of them. Click on this guy here. They all have that same setting on the entry. So if any of these values changes, I set the change bit to a 1, which means over here in the programs, this section won't run between this guy here and this squiggly mark here. This section won't run during that. And then I'll run this section here where I write those values. So that's how that happens. And in this program that you're seeing here, this little simple logic is simply being ran on tick. So if I go over here to display pages, click on the word pages up here, and you can see I'm only running that program right here in the on tick field. Okay, so back to the example. I got this green arrow I made just to show you, hey, the stuff is going from the left side to the right side. But if I come over here and say I want to change, let's say I want to change this value here from a 2 to some other number, 36. I want you to watch and see what happens with H5 over here. I hit enter right here, boom. Look, the arrow went to red for a second because it moved it over here. I don't know if you saw that quickly, but let's try another one. Let's say I do this one. 1, 2, 3, boom, enter. See the red? Boom, it pushes it over. And over here you can see that it updated. So if I was to go through a series, I like doing this. If I say this is number 1, you can always tell up here the name of the tag. And if I hit the right arrow on my keyboard, boom, it automatically does. It takes me next field. This is 2. I'll go 3, enter, 4, enter, whatever. I go down the list here. And you can see anytime I make those changes, I guess I didn't do that, but let me try it again here. This is number 2. Hit the right arrow. This is number 3, right arrow. This is number 4, right arrow. And somehow I jumped. I don't know why I jumped over there. But anyway, so you can kind of see how it works, and the change bit, it lets me control that. So I'm able to write to the values and got rid of the flicker is over here because this is the real thing, but all the internal values are right here and there's no flicker. So we have a couple customers that they're going to have to do this to their database because they can't find what tag or tags are wrong, and there's thousands of tags. So this is kind of my cheat for a method to fix that on certain applications. Anyway, if you want a copy of this database or so forth, don't be afraid to send me a note. I'll be glad to share it with you. It's really a simple thing. It all comes down to the programs copying the real tags to the internal tags for display, and then down here, if any of them gets changed, I'm taking the internal tags and copying those to the real. And that's pretty much all I'm doing. It's a simple way to fix the flicker when you might see it on a screen that has a persistent thing you can't seem to find. Anyway, thanks a lot. Have a great day.